Troy, don't you think it might actually be fun doing this Christmas pageant for the Glee Club?
Abed, we hate the Glee Club.
Yeah. I guess I just like liking things.
Hey guys, it's Graham, and I am once again reminded of why I have this ethos that I have about trying to boost stuff that I like around here, because whether it's the creators making this stuff or the algorithm boosting this stuff, like, there's no shortage of podcasts and videos that are all just like, oh, this thing sucks and here's why. And I'm like, and I know that I was part of the problem, just because it used to be a lot of what I consumed, until I finally realized, what's the point? Like, it's like Abed. I say this all the time. Like Abed on that episode of Community, the Christmas Glee episode. I guess I just like liking things, and like that's true. Like, it feels better to be excited about something. Case in point, today the new trailer dropped for Superman, and I watched it. I thought about doing a video with screen caps and stuff. You know what? I don't care. I saw the trailer, and I'm pretty much lukewarm on it. I won't say that it dissuaded me from seeing it. It didn't get me hyped to see it. I just saw it, and it's like, all right, I've got a better idea of what it's going to look like. Other than that, like, I'll probably see it. I know that there was that screen cap that came out earlier this year, and I was worried, like, what the heck is this? It looked all dark and dour, and I've got some issues with the idea of them trying to reboot Superman again. Yeah, I'm pissed about Cavill, but whatever. Like, it's like the Beetlejuice movie, right? Like, yeah, nobody asked for it. Yeah, the storyline was bloated. Did I have fun watching it? Yes, I did. There was a plot. There were a couple of plots. The performances were good. It looked fun. Like, okay, like, if this is what we're going to get, is it at least enjoyable? Sure. Do we want something better? Yes. Is it fun to just sit there and dump on things all the time? No, it's not. And I'm freaking tired of it. I'm just spent on it. Yesterday was New Comic Book Day. I got Absolute Batman #3, and I'll probably do a full video of that one later. Like, one of the cool developments in this week's issue is, so ever since they released the picture of the Bat haul truck, like, you guys know how I feel about that one. It's like, okay, I've got major logistical questions about this because I've worked around haul trucks. This is a problem. Well, there's a new development with the Batmobile in issue 3 where it's like, okay, I've still got some questions, but oddly this answers at least some of them in theory. We'll see where it goes from here. But like, what, I didn't even remember that I was getting Absolute Batman this week. I just know that I swing by the comic book shop and whatever they've got for me that week is what I pick up. And then when they pulled that one out, I was like, oh, cool. Like, it felt good to be excited about Batman. All right. And it's a new story. It's still, faithful to the general pieces, parts of what came before. But, like, I like being excited. I like liking things. That's why I've been slating more time, too, for rereading books that I've enjoyed in the past. When you read the volume that I do, it's easy to find yourself in a rut of, like, hitting too many books in a row that are just kind of there, and they become beige noise in the background, and you realize, like, it's been a while since you read something that you really, really enjoyed. You got to remind yourself, like, it's not always about finding the next new thing. It's, if you liked something before and it's been a while since you read it, go friggin' pick it up again. So right now I'm listening to the audiobook of Monster Hunter Vendetta, which I now realize I have not read that book in 13 years. I read it when it came out in 2011, and it's one of the few in the series that I've not reread. It's the second book in the MHI books. Also, side note, does it seem to you like the last 5 years went by faster than the 2 before them? I swear, like, just the other day I looked at my son, and he's taller than my wife now. And some pictures popped up in my memories from just 2 years ago, and I was like, dude, you still looked like a little kid 2 years ago. And, like, all of a sudden he just started wrestling with puberty hormones, and I'm like, you look different. He's starting to sound different. He's got some fuzz on his lip. Like, what? And I listen to these YouTubers that have successful channels that have been around for a while. They're like, yeah, man, it's like, I've been doing this for a while and I just turned 30. And I'm like, go to hell. Go straight to hell. Do not collect $200. Tell me you're starting to feel world weary at age 30. Like, suck it. Suck all of it. No, you have not earned that. Oh man, I'm 30 now. Shut up. But I'm feeling my age. There are days when I just can't shrug it off like I used to, and I'm adamantly committed to not having a midlife crisis, but just being the best 40-year-old version, jeune with an S, of me that I can be, and finding things that I enjoy and enjoying them for their sake. And if it's been a minute since I read something, I'll go back and read it again. I'm reminded of something that Larry Correia said after the Avengers came out in 2012. And this harkens back to the video I did a while ago about how different authors can come up with the same idea. If you remember the end of the first Avengers movie when they're fighting Loki and the Chitauri, and there's that portal that opens up into space, and the government's like, if the Avengers can't handle it, then we'll just send in a nuke. And the Avengers are like, no, we save the day, and Tony ends up flying the nuke through the portal. Well, that had already happened in the end of the first MHI book, which was released with Bane in 2009. So like the self-published version had already happened before that. But there was a scene where they're fighting against an elder god in a swamp in Alabama, and Owen Pitt, the main character, is trying to defeat this elder god thing, and the government's waiting in the wings, and they're like, well, we don't know if MHI can do it, so we'll just drop a nuke on Alabama, and that should take care of the elder god. And Owen is able to use some magic that he doesn't quite understand, but it opens up a portal to the Eldritch realm, and they fire a nuke at this Eldritch god. That's relevant because they're dealing with the fallout of that, pun intended, in the beginning of the second book. I'm only a couple of hours into the audio, but man, I'm just remembering how good it feels to enjoy something and enjoy it while I'm listening to it, and not be like, okay, now I'm excited to get this finished, so let's just get it done. Like, I'm enjoying the process of rereading these books. That's why I buy them in print, and I'll read them again a couple of times in my life. Like, I like liking things. I like being excited about this Batman comic. I'm not going to fake being excited about this Superman movie, but what were some of my complaints about all those Snyder movies when the trailer dropped? Is that they all looked like we were watching them through a sheet of gray glass, and that there was never allowed to be like any joy or bright colors or any of that. At least the Superman trailer had that. It looks like we're getting a world where there's already going to be Superman established. It's not an origin story. There are other characters in there. There was a Green Lantern. I saw Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl. It's like, okay, I'm not psyched. I'm not bummed. I'm just, like I said, I got a better idea of what it looks like, and I hope it's good. James Gunn has made some good movies that I've really liked. He's done some stuff in movies that I haven't liked. We'll see what happens. But I'm tired of just picking up something and being like, oh my goodness, this sucks. Like, that's everybody on the internet. It's exhausting to live that way. You're choosing misery. Just stop it. Find something that you like. Share something that you like. Looking at my videos on my channel, the ones that get the most views, outside of the Mayflower and Graham Hates Lit RPG, is the Aragon stuff, and I've got a few things keyed in that vein that I'm going to talk about a little bit, but I need to talk more about Louis L'Amour. I've got a couple of his books that I want to kind of sit down and organize my thoughts on them and share them in a more disciplined way, instead of just doing what I'm doing with the car videos. Like, those L'Amour videos seem to resonate with people, and I love L'Amour. I'm reading a L'Amour right now in print. I like liking things, and I'm going to assume that you do too. So tell me what you're reading right now. What do you like? What are you excited for? I know Disney's got another movie coming out this weekend. I'm not going to sit there and tell you what I think about Disney and how I think it's dumb and they shouldn't make 84 sequels or whatever. Instead, I'm excited to take my kids to Sonic this weekend. My kids are excited to go see Sonic. We're stoked. We're hyped. We're going to have fun. And then it's going to be Christmas. And then it's going to be New Year's. And then it's going to be 2025. And we're going to be a quarter of the way through this century. Life goes on. Choose to fill it with good things. You know what else is a good thing? My latest novel, Howling Wilderness, written and fully illustrated by me, by your boy Graham. Go check that out. It's awesome. Oh, side note, my main character in that book, Graveheart, I was reminded this week that there was a cartoon that I liked when I was a teenager where there's a character with that name. Hadn't thought about that in years, but I'll cover that in another video. Link in the description, as we prefer. Go check it out. Drive safe. See you out there. Merry Christmas.